There's a new entry into the track saw game. Enter Ridgid's new track saw. Let's do a full review. In this video, I'll go over all the features of the saw, some of the accessories that come with it, some that don't that you can buy after, and just give you an overall feel for the saw. How easy is it to set up? Does it cut nice and smooth? Is it square? Things like that. Let's get into it. First thing I like to do with every tool I get is just see how intuitive it is to use. Take it out of the package, don't read the instructions, and just see if you can figure out how to work it, how to fix it, how to push all the buttons, what they all mean, all things like that. That to me tells me if a tool is really good and well built, or if you need to study and really figure it out before you use it. I felt this to be a pretty intuitive saw, especially if you've already used track saws before, you're kind of familiar with the overall setup. One thing that I was pretty impressed with was the included riving knife. I haven't seen that in a track saw before. That doesn't mean there are others that don't have that. I personally just have not encountered that. Overall, it's really sturdy. Magnesium construction right here, aluminum base, which I was really impressed with the base being really sturdy. Just makes for an overall really sturdy machine. One of my favorite things about this track saw was the two included 27.5-inch tracks. That allows for breaking down plywood at least widthwise right away and not having to buy additional tracks. And because they have the extension arms included as well, again, they can span out to about 48 inches, and that makes it super, super nice. On the bottom side of the tracks, you have your anti-slip pads. These basically allow you to use the tracks without clamps if you don't have them. They're also meant to help you set up perfectly on your line because it's exactly where the blade's going to cut. Also included is the extension bars that allows you to connect those two tracks together. You just tighten a little set screw and then you have a longer track. Having these two tracks included is actually a really big bonus because not a lot of track saws come with that, especially given the lengths that allows you to break down plywood. You can use these clamps to help secure the tracks in place. They are extra as the track saw only comes with one included, but usually when I'm using clamps, I like to clamp on either side just to make sure it stays secure and stays in the spot I need it to. One thing that really impressed me was how easily it goes across the track. One finger and it glides nice and smooth. There's no catching. It's also really balanced. I don't even have the anti-tip thing on, but it's not too bad. That anti-tip, not a lot of movement. Again, it glides nice and easy. This is a proprietary track, so you can't get any knockoffs, but it fits really nicely and goes really smoothly with the saw. If you ever need to switch out the blade, just flip this little switch to that logo, drop it down. Now your arbor is accessible, and your wrench is right here in the back, which is super nice. Now you can switch out that blade pretty quick. I'm going to do a rip cut here to show you how smooth it is, how square it is, and just overall the operation of the saw. For dust extraction, there is a 360-degree pivoting dust exhaust port on the back of the saw as well. This is 1-inch thick walnut, and the cut went pretty smooth, a little bit slower than I probably would have liked, but overall it did it pretty well. Very few, if any, saw marks from binding. Make sure you're cutting at the proper depth using the depth guide on the front of the saw. Now the important part, let's check for square, and right out of the box, it's pretty dang money. So we did the rip cut, so now we need to test the same exact thing doing a cross cut. Again, sped up, but then let's check the smoothness and how square it is. So let's take the track off, and then you can see there's not a lot of tear out. Part of that is because of the proper depth adjustment that we have the saw set to, but again, it's just a good quality cut. That means it's cutting true to the track, and the track is preventing tear out. Now let's check for square all along the cross cut, and as you can see at each and every spot, it's pretty square. And this is right out of the box. I've made no adjustments to the saw and made these cuts pretty dang square. Now we know not every cut needs to be square or straight. If you're looking to do some kind of bevel cut, just loosen up the bevel knobs, get it to the angle you want, lock it in with bolt knobs on the front and back, but then also make sure to activate the anti-tip lever that's on the base plate. What it really comes down to, is this a good saw and should you buy it? My opinion, yes, it's a great saw. Out of the box, it cuts smooth and it cuts square. It comes with two included 27.5-inch tracks, which is really great because a lot of saws don't come with that. It's sturdy construction, it's pretty intuitive. It doesn't come with a battery, and it only comes with one track clamp. While it doesn't come with a battery, you can always get the new 12 amp hour battery from Ridgid or any other size battery. Pops right on in there. Most tools come without the battery anyways, so you're gonna have to buy that afterwards anyways. I think for $399 with track, and the saw, it's a fantastic purchase. I hope this video helped get you a little more informed on the new Ridgid track saw. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks everyone.